UFC 323 recap and review. Man, the thrill and the agony. That's the best way I can sum up this card. The thrill and the freaking agony. We went 10 of 14 on picks. We got the main event and the co-main event wrong. I know those are two that we got wrong for sure. We got Jan Blachowicz wrong. We'll get through it. Main event, Peter Yan put the beats. Jan fans, this is our time. And yes, I know I came here. I was a super downer. I was super downer. I knew that he went into that first fight one armed. He didn't throw the right hand. I understand. But I felt like we saw this fight. I felt like, man, every time that Jan would go to plant his feet, Marab would be on his legs. But I guess Marab couldn't shoot 50 takedowns again. I thought we would get the exact same game plan from Marab. He did shoot, and he shot very often and a lot. Petr Yan defended like we knew he can. It wasn't the fact that we thought he was going to get wet blanketed. It was just defend, get back up, defend, get back up, defend, get back up. Kind of like Corey Sandhagen did, kind of like he did in the first fight, and then just get overwhelmed. But Petr Yan put the fucking beats on Marab, and he got the respect early. That was huge. He got the respect early, hurt Marab early in the first round, and damn near hurt him in every single round. Every single round. I don't understand how that was a 48-47. I don't understand how you give Marab the first and the second round. The second round was the only round I could okay, maybe, yeah, I can see Marab gets that one. First round gets hurt. Third round gets hurt. Fourth round gets hurt. Fifth round gets hurt. I don't understand how it's not a clear 49-46. Derek, clearly, we need to on your ass. This felt like an hour of just beats. Like, this felt like Bilal versus JDM level of just beats. But, like, because Marab was very active. He was very tough. He was throwing and landing his own. But Jan was hurting Marab so much. Clean uppercuts, clean left hands down the pipe. His jab was nasty. He was switching stances. He was fucking on. The body kick, oh my goodness. Head kicks, landing left and right. I don't know how Marab made it through. Oh my freaking goodness. This is beautiful because everything, as Jan is my favorite 35er in the world, has always been. I love to see the love that he's getting now all of a sudden. But everything that we had to go through, the two Aljo fights, the Sean O'Malley fight, I mean, everything we had to go through just to make it back to this moment, it's so sweet. It makes it even sweeter because you think, man, who beats Petr Yan now? That's the conversation we have. Who beats Petr Yan now? Because striking, man, he's the best striker at 35. And he mixes in takedowns. He was taking down Marab, dumping Marab on his head, hurting Marab. It was just delightful to see. That's the thrill, but the agony is here. Alexandre Pantoja is still the flyweight champion. Nobody's going to be the true flyweight champion until they beat Alexandre Pantoja. That's just the fact of the matter. Nobody's going to look at the champion of the world as the real champion until Alexandre Pantoja gets back in there. Now, they're saying in the post conference that it was the shoulder. It looked clearly like the fucking elbow. The elbow was fucking exploded. Right? But I'm seeing him taking pictures after the fight saying that we've been through this. We'll be back. It's all put in. He's moving his arms. He's thumbs up. Everything. Hands double fisted. And they're talking about the shoulder. They popped the shoulder back in. Buddy, that was the shoulder. Shoulder. Go look at that shit. His elbow exploded. It was he was holding his elbow. The thumbnail. His elbow. I don't understand. Dana White confirmed it. Shoulder. The shoulder. No, Meg. The shoulder. The shoulder. Man, that's fucking devastating, man. Oh, man, it was so freaking devastating. Not really much we could talk about it, man. Let's get Alexandre Pantoja back in there. If it was just a shoulder dislocation, he'll be back soon enough to where we don't need to see Josh Van versus Tatsuro Taro. Let's do Josh Van. Let's give Josh Van the opportunity to show what he would have done against Alexandre Pantoja. Because what we really don't want to see is Josh Van face Tatsuro Taro, and then Tatsuro Taro beat Joshua Van, and then we never see what would have been of Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van. Not saying that I think Taro wins. I haven't really put any much thought into that fight because it's not the fight I want to see. And it's not the fight that Pantoja deserves to watch on the sidelines. It is not the fight that Josh Van deserves. Josh Van deserves to fight one of the greatest of all time, like he says. Alexandre Pantoja is the fight we need to see. But until I see that fight, until I see Alexandre Pantoja get announced by Bruce Buffer as a challenger, crazy. The DJ records, the consecutive, it's all over. It's all over. That sucks. Obviously, fans will never forget it. But as far as the record books goes, the history books, it's over, and that hurts. That really, really hurts as a huge Pantoja fan. But until I see Pantoja in the cage for 5 rounds with the belt on the line and lose, he's still the champion. Tatsuro Taro, more agony. Man, Tough stoppage for Brandon. He was stuck. He was stuck. I mean, yes, you want to give him more time. A guy of his caliber, former champion, former two-time champion. Very tough guy. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't cut. He wasn't bruised. There wasn't anything, but he was in a tough position in a ref. And I'm not going to lie, visually, when the ref stepped in, it looked like Moreno went limp. I don't know what he was doing for. I don't know if he was just trying to get low, if he was really just trying to create a scramble, buy himself some time, but his body went limp. Obviously, we know that he wasn't actually limp. He was just trying to make something happen. But visually, I can see how the ref steps in. But as soon as he steps in and you see Brandon Moreno, you're like, fuck, we kind of robbed him here. But, man, that's Tatsuro Taira, right? It can look like, man, he's not having much success, but he's hanging in there, and, man, he's not really getting these takedowns. Brandon Moreno sprawling beautifully, and then all it takes is one takedown. He only needs one takedown to change a fight and finish a fight. Get a dominant position immediately. Switching him out, making you choose. Do you want me on top and mount, or do you want me to mount you on back and flatten you out? Moreno chose to go to his stomach. I flattened him out, and I started raining down shots. Good win for Tatsuro Taira. Moving on. Beautiful, beautiful way for Henry Cejudo to go out. He got beat on. And he got beat on for 3 rounds. But he was in there. He was hanging in there. He was landing his own. It was a grit down. It was war. It was time. With that being said, it was time. And a beautiful win by Peyton Talbot. Exactly what I thought I would see. Peyton Talbot, getting a lot of respect on the feet, but Henry Cejudo pushing to make it happen. A lot of striking, some wrestling exchanges. Peyton Talbot showing his improved grappling once again. Inside trip takedown, looks at Henry's corner. Ha ha, you taught me that. Things of that nature. Strong hips, fast. Peyton Talbot didn't look nearly as powerful out of southpaw. He looked very, very powerful out of orthodox, but out of southpaw, his rear left hand didn't really look that powerful. He was hurting Henry Cejudo to the body a lot. Henry Cejudo hung in there, and that's props off to Henry Cejudo because it's your last fight. And yeah, you're like, it's my last fight. I'm going to leave it all out there. But, like, it's your last fight. You're hurt bad. Man, mentally, you can be like, man, it's over after this anyway. I'm not fighting for anything after this. My kids don't need to see me go out. But fuck that. He went out on a shield. He didn't even go out. He went out fighting. He went down a warrior. He stood in for the last 10 seconds. Beautiful fight. Amazing fight. Beautiful way to go out. And Peyton Talbot just looks even better. Peyton Talbot's he's a contender at 35. That loss to Hani Barcelos, I'm telling you, it got his mind right. And I'm seeing people say if Hani Barcelos was enough, man, Henry Cejudo. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but we saw him fight Felipe Lima, and Felipe Lima is a better fighter than Hani Barcelos. Maybe he doesn't have the same grappling and grappling accolades, but MMA, Felipe Lima is a better fighter than Hani Barcelos. And the way Peyton Talbot bounced back, refocused, got better against Felipe Lima, it showed, okay, man, he can fight with Henry Cejudo, especially Henry Cejudo, who isn't near what he used to be. And that's exactly what happened. Jan Blachowicz got this one completely wrong. Ended up being a draw. Jan Blachowicz gets 10-8 in the second. I think it's the right call. I obviously picked Jan Blachowicz by decision, and maybe if he could have avoided a 10-8 in that second round, maybe that would have been another one that we got correct, right? We've been 11 out of 14. But Jan wins the first round, wins the third round, gets 10-8 in the fourth. In the second. Sorry. I thought he got finished, man. I was closing my eyes, looking away. I didn't want to see Jan get finished. Battle through. Old man, battle through. Fun fight. Jan Blachowicz washed, though. He's washed. Manuel Torres versus Grant Dawson. Come on, brother. Won a lot of money off of this one. I was live for these fights, and I was going through looking at props on sports books, and I got flagged, man. I appealed it, and immediately the appeal was granted. So the warning is off the channel. I don't know if the live stream is going to go back up. I don't understand. I got to figure something out. But, yeah, man, we were prop hunting during this card, and we were doing a great job of it. We had Manuel Torres round 1 finish, +4 something. Chris Duncan finishes Terrence McKinney. I thought Terrence McKinney will start off fast like he did, right? Was walking down Chris Duncan, just getting in the fire like he always does. Man, if he fights a little bit more reserved, though, he could actually be way better than he is. And actually still probably find those finishes with the speed and the athleticism, and he'll have more gas in the tank as the fight goes on. But he just leaves it all out there, and that's why we love Terrence McKinney, right? But I thought Chris Duncan would get his feet wet, get hit, start to settle into the fight, make it past the first, get in the second, KO him. We didn't get the chance because Terrence McKinney went. This is one of the hardest. This is probably as hard as I've ever seen Terrence McKinney go and push for a finish. And Chris Duncan just hung in there, man. Hung in there with the boxing, Dropped him. I think it was a short elbow in close. I can't really remember. I think it was a short elbow up against the fence that dropped him. And then he wailed on him a bit. And I'm like, man, these are a lot of unanswered shots. Terrence McKinney, we probably need to stop this fight. Terrence McKinney gets back to his feet, gets dropped again, gets finished. Maybe took some extra beating, but I mean, hey, he was moving. Moving on. I didn't really watch that shit, I'm gonna be honest with you. Moving on, Faraz Ziam, Nazim Sadikov got shut down, completely shut down. First round, Faraz Ziam forces the clinch early, a bit boring, but this is Faraz Ziam, right? Take his time, build into the fight, take some of the win out of your sails, bend into the fight, grapple heavy in the first round. This is what he usually does: grapple heavy in the first round, get a dominant position, keep you there, put you through a lot of stress in the fight, threatening with back takes. Not much ground and pound, but just jiu-jitsu, smothering, making you work. And that's exactly what he did. Second round, he knew Nazim wasn't going to be in a rhythm. He came out, he kept his range, and now he's picking him apart from range. Nazim started off with the whole first round without landing a significant strike. Second round, I don't think he got anything off either. At range, long teep kicks, long attacks from range like we thought. Gets him in the clinch again, right? Threatening with the back take. Round starting to come to an end. 2 hard elbows to the temple. Boom, boom. Drops Nazim Sadikov bad. Good stoppage from Jason Herzog. Nazim Sadikov was all over the place trying to get up. Shut him down, bro. Faraz Ziam is also a real contender. He's getting better and better in each fight, and I wouldn't be mad at a ranked opponent next. I wouldn't be mad at a ranked opponent next. I would be mad at Ignacio Bahamondes. It's a good fight. Moving on, we got Bruno Ferreira versus Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori got beat on, bro. He got fucking beat on for 3 rounds. He got beat on. He took some hard punches, and Bruno was throwing, bruh. It's time, Marvin. So Bruno was just throwing himself all over the place. It wasn't by far. It was not a clean performance. Throwing himself all over the place, way out of position. Any decent counter striker would at least throw and look and make Bruno Ferreira pay. But Marvin, he just wasn't, right? He just wasn't. He was just very hittable like he always was, eating punches, returning with his jab too, and just losing the big moments, losing the big strikes. Bruno Ferreira landing nasty, thudding strikes that are echoing. The crowd's going crazy every time he lands. You can see visually Bruno's pushing for the finish. Marvin Vettori, bro, that's it. Jalen Turner gets Edson Barboza out of there, man. Edson got beat on. And I don't think Edson's done. I think Edson done. UFC didn't do Edson any favors. No fucking favors at all. No favors. He's getting beat on early by Drakkar Klose, getting cracked by Drakkar Klose. They say, you know what? Let's give him Jalen Turner. A refocused Jalen Turner. A retooled Jalen Turner. And Jalen Turner made sure he didn't gas. He didn't make the Dan Hooker mistake here. He knew he heard Edson Barboza, and he pushed at the beginning, but then he saw Edson going to hang around. You see him take a deep breath while Edson's on a retreat. Walk forward, be patient. And towards the finishing sequence, he wasn't really putting everything in those hooks. He was just touching them. Left hook touch him, right hook touch him, left hook touch him, right hook touch him. And it was a temple shot. And his equilibrium was all off. Edson was off balance for about a minute and a half straight. A minute at least. He was just off balance, trying to recover, trying to retreat, and he never really could. And Turner got him out of there. It could have been way more gruesome than that, though. Good to see Turner get back in the win class. I mean, in the win column. Shout out to JT. Moving on, we got Iwu versus Ebo. Man, this was a motherfucking slobber knocker, right? This is a slobber knocker, bro. I thought Ebo KO'd Iwu about 3 times. I thought Iwu KO'd Ebo about 3 times. Shit, I didn't know who was getting KO'd, but it wasn't no type of feelings very early on, right? Within the first 30 seconds, you're like, okay, somebody's getting finished. And I don't mean eventually as the fight goes on, as somebody breaks down. No, somebody's getting finished in one of these next few exchanges. And that's exactly what happened. Just swinging. A skilled brawl fight, I think, is what Joe Rogan called it. Or maybe it was Anik. A skilled bar fight. It was great. It was great. It definitely got energy back into the place after these 2 fights here. Where Marion Santos versus Muhammad Naimov, was a bit boring. Not a bit boring, but Muhammad was trying to clinch. And then Marion will reverse the clinch and keep him there. Marion, towards the end of the second round, things started to pick up. Marion, you can see body language-wise, okay, he's getting loose. He's bouncing around. He doesn't feel like there's any danger coming his way. Now he's about to, try to pick it up. You can sense that towards the end of the second round. Comes out in the third round immediately. He not playing no games. 1-2. Sits down Muhammad Naimov. Bad. Slimes him bad. Beautiful performance from Mario Santos. Got to make weight. That's all I can say. Every time you don't make weight, it's an asterisk on that win, right? And 5 years down the line, we won't remember, man, he missed weight for that fight. But in the now, when it comes to next opportunities, and now it's very important, man. You got to make weight. Got to make weight. And then Mansour Abdul Malik, standing guillotine against Antonio Tricali. I think that's the second time. This is 2 fights in a row. Antonio got standing guillotine. Shout out to bro. Let's get him somebody who's worth the fuck. How about that? 10-4 on picks. Man, I used to pray for times like this. This is one step closer to that O'Malley rematch. O'Malley put some wins together, I guess. One step closer to that Sandhagen. I don't fucking know. Umar versus John is gonna be very, very fun. Very, very fucking fun. 2 fast strikers who can grapple. I think that's gonna be an excellent matchup, and I think I can see Peter Yan hurting Umar in that fight, and then Umar trying to get in on the grappling, securing takedowns with his fast level changes, and it could get ugly for Umar if Peter Yan starts to stuff those. It could get very, very ugly if he ends up getting stuck on the feet with Peter Yan and loses that confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bexot, he lost that confidence on the feet when he got hurt. Mario Batista kind of took that confidence away from Umar early when Mario Batista was kind of walking him down. Not kind of, he was walking him down, outboxing him and stinging Umar. Umar went all in on the grappling, and it worked, right? Securing positions, good at securing position to keep it there. So his jiu-jitsu and his control is way better than Merab, I would say. Merab, he can go secure you a takedown, right? Well, he didn't do very well at that. I think Umar would have a better more grappling success against Peter Yan than Merab did. That's what I'm really trying to say, but he's not as tough as Merab. But he is also a better striker and faster. It's a very interesting dynamic, and I'd love to see it. Let's get them back in there ASAP. Sucks for the assassin, baby, man. Sucks. But Tyro winning's better for the sport, but better for the division as far as progressing in the division, right? But I mean, well, maybe not now anymore, right? Now that Pantoja lost. It's tough. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody I know that enjoys like you did. You ain't got to go home. You got to get up out of here, man. Yeet.